Some artists have a hit, some artists have a career, and then there are those rare individuals who continue to reinvent themselves while staying true to who they are. Tonight's guest has already done exactly that. He's been a chart-topping recording artist, a radio personality, actor, mentor, entrepreneur, advocate for youth, and now he's preparing to surprise the world yet again. This is a conversation about longevity, resilience, purpose, and the courage to keep evolving. Let's get into it. Smoke and Ice begins now.
Smoke and ice, twice as nice. I'm your vice. Smoke and ice.
Welcome to Smoke and Ice with Kelly Allen. This is the podcast where you're not only informed, but entertained. Sit back, relax, and remember, where there's smoke, there's fire, and you can't chill without ice. Now, here's your host, Kelly Allen.
Smoke and ice.
You have entered another episode of Smoke and Ice, where smoke meets sophistication and ice meets intensity. I'm Kelly. Tonight's guest is a singer, songwriter, actor, radio personality, entrepreneur, and one of the most recognizable voices in R&B. Born in Cleveland, Ohio, his journey has taken him from church choirs and radio studios to concert stages, television screens, and recording history. Many know him as one half of the legendary R&B group Men at Large, a duo that helped define an era of soulful music and unforgettable ballads. But his story goes far beyond the hits. From music and media to acting and entrepreneurship, personal transformation, and a passion for helping others, he continues to evolve while staying true to the artistry that first captured audiences around the world. Tonight, we're talking about the journey, the lessons, the reinvention, and the legacy. Welcome to Smoke and Ice, Dave Tolliver. Thank you so much for being here with me today. I know you could be doing anything else, but I appreciate you being here with me.
It's your pleasure. No, I'm just joking. It's my pleasure to be here. Thanks for having me. What's popping?
It's mine as well. So listen, we're going to get right to it. Dave, growing up in Cleveland, surrounded by music, radio, entertainment, was there ever a plan B, or was this always your destiny?
I didn't know about plan B until I was in my 30s. So no, plan B, honestly, when you're sucked into sports, entertainment, that's entertainment as well too. You thinking that it's never going to end, especially
Right.
when you start off as high as we did and so fast. And that was, plus I was doing radio too. And I thought it was never going to end, but was I surprised?
And we're going to get to that too. Go ahead, finish. I'm sorry.
I didn't get to the plan B until I needed a plan B. You know what I mean? And
Right.
I'm in the plan B and C stage now.
But listen,
DEF.
if anybody knows, it's a good plan B, D, E, F, whatever it is. But we'll get to that in just a moment. And I only brought that up because when we're younger, we don't really realize what our plan is, what our life has for us until it actually happens, and we don't understand that. And it's a weird thing that we go through. But I really want to start from the beginning before we get too far into where you are right now. You started off singing in church.
Start the tip.
I think at just like 4 years old, which was much earlier than so many other people. What lessons from those early days still guide you today?
Oh man, the lady that put me out in front, she said, sing loud and proud. That's all to do, sing loud and proud. And for a minute, I kind of lost that. But then, I'm vain. I'm a Leo, July 30th. And I wanted to start getting my props. So I fine-tuned everything. And now I'm a monster. It was, that's what I remember, though. Just everybody marveling over the things that I was doing, and just how confident as a kid. Well, you ain't really thinking about failure or nothing like that at 4, 5, 6, not 4, but 4, 5, 6, 7. You know what I mean? I don't think you really start feeling uh, uncomfortably about yourself till you maybe get to junior high or middle school or whatever. I didn't have so yeah, just sing loud and
But
proud, man.
right, but it's funny because you just mentioned I'm a Leo, right? Leos are leaders, naturally, right?
Leo
So, and
gang.
I'm not a Leo, but that's okay. But I'm a appreciate where it
I
is,
feel
right?
sorry for you. I feel sorry for you.
I'm an Aries. I'm good. I'm
Oh
so
God,
good.
what day is your birthday?
April 16th.
Go ahead.
That part. Exactly. So I'm good. I'm confident in mine. But here's the thing. Someone saw who you were and what you needed to be early on without maybe even knowing who you were. To sing loud and proud, that's a Leo. That's somebody who is coming in and telling you to be who you are naturally as an individual, and let all those talents that you have been given, let everybody notice those, because that's what's going to put you on your path. And so it's so amazing that you said that. What are the lessons to sing loud and proud? Because that is the essence of a Leo.
Yeah, that's the
You're
first
loud.
talk your ish.
You're
Is
right.
this
You're
censored?
loud.
I can say whatever I want to say on here, or we
Say
have
whatever
to
you
be
want to say.
nice.
Say what
Okay,
you want
you
to
talk
say.
your shit. You know what I'm saying? You do your shit as a Leo. That's what we do.
Right.
People call us, So I was telling somebody the other day, I said, I know you love me. Quit playing around. If you ain't love me, you wouldn't keep calling, all this other stuff. I said, I bet if I seen you today, it'd still be going down. She said, whatever. I said, okay. And then I said, I know it sounds narcissistic and it sounds arrogant, but to me, narcissism and narcissism can be bad, but to be arrogant, I think, just means that you have so much love for yourself that you're really in love with yourself. And I am in love with myself, but there are some things that I don't like about myself. But you will never know that it bothers me because of how I operate. I don't let the things that I don't like or the things that I can't change on my body affect the way that I move.
And it's not even a
I'd have to jump off a building.
right. And the problem and the best part is not the problem. The best part is that you find those
I'm
things that you
sexy.
love and you accentuate those. That part. You find the
Yeah.
things that you love and you accentuate them. It's not about what other people think. It's not about, and should be for everybody, not just a Leo, not just for Aries, whoever you are. Find the things that you love and accentuate those things, because in your confidence, people will find what it is that you are trying to let them know who you are. You know what I mean? They'll find that thing. And
Yeah.
so that's very important. And that's important as from youth all the way up into your adulthood. Some of us miss it all the way.
Yeah.
But listen, I think we're getting a little too far ahead, because that's all that that's all
I
that
mean,
other stuff.
it don't matter. We can talk about, like, I'm an open book. So if you run out of the questions that you had prepared and have something else you want to ask, just ask me. I don't care. Don't give a damn. Don't
I
give a
appreciate that.
damn.
I just want to linearly tell the audience where you started from and where you got from, and then we can go wide open once we get to where you are right now, because there's so many things that you did and there's so many things that make you who you are. So your uncle Lynn Tolliver, he influenced you both in radio career and your understanding of the entertainment business, which is so important today, because if you don't understand it, you can get
Yeah, you get bent
just
over
you get bent over backwards and all that other stuff.
with no grease.
That part. So
Yeah.
how did that influence you into where you started to go in your life?
I really, he influenced me by being, committed, not being stifled by your age, especially now. Being committed, staying true to what you do, never altering from it, and just possibly trying to be the best that you can be at whatever it is that you are, that you're doing. You know what I mean?
Right, and you've done that early. You started dominating the radio scene, and the
Right.
ratings were coming in while you were still incredibly young. What did radio teach you about people and communication?
That people are never satisfied. You said, what did it teach me about what? About,
What did it teach you about people and communication?
it taught me that people are never satisfied. Even if you giving them something, they're never, well, as far as it goes, our people, you give them something, they're never satisfied. I used to be on a little promotional team, and we used to go and pass out tickets, albums, bumper stickers, all kinds of stuff. And people were, they just never were satisfied with what we gave them,
And I
you
think it's
know?
more so because people are skeptical and they
No,
are
but it was viable
well,
things.
right. No, but our people are more onto how many people are on board this ship before we get on it, right? Everything
Yeah, but
oh, you can hear something that's really great, but you will not jump on until there's other 20 plus people. And that's a small number, but I'm just, putting it out there. When 20 people are on it, then I'll jump on it. Why not jump on it when it's there and be the first to say you experienced something? Why? Why do we wait? It blows my mind to see how we just miss out on so many opportunities, or how we're the last to jump on because of our skepticism. And it's rightfully so, but at a certain point you got to say, I'm my own individual and I can make decisions for myself. But that's a whole different
I mean,
that's a whole different
but
thing.
I think that we have been programmed for so long and told that we can't, we don't know how, we're not smart enough, and to just, it's basically shut up and dribble. You know what I'm saying? Like they told LeBron, he's like shut up and dribble. It's like we've been taught, and then you start to believe it. It's like when you learned your Sunday school speech, for those that have go to church, if you did it over and over and over again, then you remembered everything. And it's the same thing. If they keep telling you that you're not worthy, they keep telling you that you're not smart enough, they keep telling you that you're too black, you gonna start to believe everything that they tell you. It's like I tell people, even though you see this stuff on the news that's happening, the reason why it's working is because everybody's believing and swallowing it whole. They're
Right.
swallowing it whole. They're not doing any investigation. They're not doing any research. You know what I mean? They're not doing town halls like they should. I mean, it's so many things that they could be, that I can say they, but we could be doing to, kind of change the narrative. But
And that
we
starts in the
learned.
household. That starts in the household. I've always told my children, don't even take what I tell you. Make sure you research it for yourself, because something I'm telling you could be something that I was force fed, and it is not so. But there's a whole world out there that is for you, and if you don't know it for yourself, then that's your fault, not anyone else's, because
Facts.
you know better. You know better. So yeah, we all have to have that in there and stop piggybacking off of what other people said. We're more reactional than we are proactive into learning our own stuff, or learning what we need to learn in this life. But again, I keep wanting to jump to now, but we got to keep going through this because I want people to know you from your start. So when you were on the radio, you interview people from Martin Lawrence to LL Cool J. How did that feel, and who surprised you the most, and why?
Well, the thing, what's crazy is that I look back now. I had a interview with a guy who was my partner on the show. His name was MC Chill. He had records out, and he was like the first person outside of New York to get his stuff played on New York radio stations. And his first single had Grandmaster Melly Mel on there. So I mean, then the crazy thing about it was I would see all these people come to town like Ice Cube and Queen Latifah and De La Soul and just et cetera, et cetera. And then next thing you know, a few years later, I'm touring with them and they're like, "Hey, what's up?" You know what I mean? It's dope.
Right. That is so much. That's so much. And we're going to talk about your tours now, because you were hand selected by one of the greatest people out there. Someone taken far too soon, but Gerald Levert handpicked you to become part of Men at Large. What was that moment like?
Uh, it was a great moment. I didn't know what to expect, and I'll say I probably took part of it for granted. But man, it was some of the best times in my life. It still is. It was exciting. Number one, for G to sign us and be there, and then he set up the studio hall, and man, we just had fun, man. I mean, Jesus Christ, man. It was fantastic. You couldn't have asked for a better a better mentor, better brother, better, whatever. You know what I mean? But it was also a lot of work. You know what I mean?
Oh
Like when we
yeah.
started recording, we signed our contracts with Gerald's company in June of 90. And then my mother died in August of
Oh, I'm so
90.
sorry.
So,
Wow. Okay.
she didn't get to see none of it physically. That's why it's so bittersweet.
Right. And it's bittersweet, but I know you made her proud. So you mentioned that he was such a great mentor. What made him such a great mentor to you?
Well, besides the BS when he did it, he showed us how to, basically him and Sean, especially Sean, but they showed us the ropes, how to carry yourself like a star, like a human being, because they were getting calls about certain groups and different people about how they were acting, and then he would go talk to them and stuff. So, you know, like
Hmm.
that's it. I mean,
It's yeah, it is easy to get caught up when you're new to something, and it's amazing. And I understand how it is for those who've been in it to mentor those and show you where it is. And it's great to come into a moment where they can tell you, don't do what these people are doing, do this, because it'll take you a lot further. So that's an amazing thing. So when you hear those songs that you've done today, what emotions come back to you?
Well, one part of me is frustrated because I know we could have done more if we had been a little more patient and basically knew more about the record business, the business period. Number two, still having a little bit of anger towards. I think Sylvia and them at the label at Atlantic, they really didn't know what to do with us. And then they saw it taking off and it was like, oh shit, they can, And so,
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
you know what I mean? When I hear those songs, especially the biggest one we had was So Alone. That was a song that Gerald wrote for my mother, and I love busting people's heads when we're out and about. He was like, "Yeah, man, that song, fam, man, I got that song got me so much ass, bro, so much ass." I'll be like, "What?" I'll be like, "Hey, that joint was about my mom dying, what?" Oh, my bad, man. I'll be like, man, I'm just playing, man. You good, man. But I appreciate, at one point in time, I wanted to stop singing that song. But I mean, who doesn't sing their biggest hit? You know what I mean? And
Right.
so we had to keep doing it. But I didn't want to do it because every time I see it, I have a flashback of my mom just being cold on the slab. You know what I mean? When I used to
Mm-hmm.
always go there, she's worked at the federal building for 19 years, and I would go down there and have lunch with her, and we used to just kick it. That was like, realistically, she was like my best friend before I started hitting the streets.
Right.
But
Right. Right.
man,
Yeah. And it's hard because when a song is sung and it's done, not everybody understands where it's coming from. Um, so I appreciate how let them have their moment in it, but it did take
yeah.
away from you just a little bit because it means so much more to you.
Man, I got some
Um,
interesting stories about that song, man. We had somebody booked us to sing it at a funeral.
mm,
So supposedly the young lady had killed herself, but the family was saying that the guy did it. I don't know why I'm laughing, but we got there and he was like, he barely could talk and stuff. He was, kissing on the body. Long story short, he booked us to come to Detroit and sing. Well, they
mhm.
thought that he had killed her. That's what the family saying. But so he wasn't allowed to go to the service. So we in there in the funeral home. We get there late. The plane's delayed or whatever. I think it was snowing. Yeah, it was snowing. And we
If
get
it's
there.
Detroit, it was snowing. Uh-huh.
It was snowing. And so we get there and he like, come on, man. You couldn't understand nothing he's saying. He was like, man, you want to sing for me, man? I was like, what? Man, come on, man, you want to sing for me? I'm like, oh, you want us to sing? I was like, cool. And then the funeral director just said, okay, you're now inside the size of a thriller. No, he said, we get ready to close down, so y'all got to get out of here. It was closing at 8 o'clock. Man, he had us standing over the casket singing.
Wow.
Man, I was like, and then the funeral director was like, sorry guys, but we gotta go. And he flicked the lights off. I was like, what? I said, it's time to go.
Wow.
It's time to go, bro. Let's go. He on his knees singing and stuff like that. I'm like, let's go.
Right. Oh my gosh. Um, mm. There's just some things that deserve the time when it's
Time.
given. Right. It deserves its time, and sometimes we can be so insensitive because we're looking at things from a different aspect. But when you have a family grieving and things like that, that's crazy. Oh my gosh. But at least I'm glad that you were able to do that for them, for the family, and they had that
Man,
moment.
it's been some really weird times with that song, man. Oh man, I've had to step in and be the liaison for the family. I've had to step in and do the pastoral stuff for the family. It's just it becomes tedious, you know what I mean, at a certain
Right.
time.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
And I say this to you because it was a blessing bestowed upon you, because it was written for you, for your mom. Use that as a blessing for them. Even if it seems tedious, it's still a blessing. Because
Yeah.
even in this, it to me, I'm just like, wow. You know what I mean? Okay. This does so much for so many other people. And sometimes we're made to shoulder that burden because that's just the
Man,
assignment we were given. It's just an assignment.
man, man, man,
That hurt. It's just the assignment that we were
man.
that we had to shoulder to do. And you were the one chosen to give that.
And you want to know what's crazy is that people, and it's mainly independent women, they see you being vulnerable and they crucify you. You know what I'm saying? Then you vulnerable again, and then but then I don't know, man. It's
That's
a
a
it's a
that's a
it's a double-edged sword.
it's not a double-edged sword. Those are people who are unappreciative and don't need
Yeah, but
to
I'm
have
saying it's like
to
you damned
have.
if when I say a double edged sword, I mean it's damned if you do, you damned if you don't. If you
No.
don't, then she complaining about that. If you do, then it's but in my case, I think I've seen and had to do so much, and I've had no choice but to stand up straight, bounce back, and go. And but the people around me, they just say, "Man, you the strongest person I know," but that shit ain't fun all the time. It's not.
It's not. And why do you have to always be? My whole thing by me saying that is that not everybody should be privileged to who men are.
All right.
So you've appeared in over 40 stage productions and several films. What satisfies you creatively about acting that music doesn't?
Man, that's a good question, honey bunch. I think I think I like the acting and the visual because it gives you a quicker access to advancement and your platform, elevation to your platform. Because with music, sometimes you don't have the budget to do the music the way it should be done. And for urban music, black music, happy Black Music Month, um, they don't give you a lot of money. And most of the deals that come through there, you got to partner with them or give them 50% of everything for the, you know what I mean, like a 360 deal. So now when I'm home and I record stuff on my own, I like doing it like that better than going to Patchwork or whatever studio they have down here that they'll let me use. I hate going there. It's like I'd rather just be at home and do it.
Right. Well, sometimes you have to kind of be there, and I get it. When you have the
Yeah.
ability to do it right at home and do your own thing, it's easier. But sometimes the emotion, the feeling, everything comes when you're actually in among that, and we'll get to that in just a moment. I want to know, because I do both. I sing and I act, and I've been doing this since a very young age, not as early as you have, but
Right.
13. So you got me by a couple of years.
Yeah.
But do you approach a character the same way you approach music?
Damn, where you getting these questions from, Tom Brokaw?
from my thought process, because I'm all over the place.
What else you got in that goodie bag?
Look, we'll get to it.
I hope so. Repeat the question again, because I'm up here acting silly.
I know, that's okay. I want to know how do you approach a character? Do you approach the character the same way that you approach music?
No, I think when I do a character, I come on set in my, I might have in character, so I'm already there when we start, and I like to be
Gotcha.
ahead of the game, when it comes to doing that, instead of
And I'm gonna tell you where that question came from, because when I take on anything that I write or anything else, because I'm a creative mind, I already have the whole scenario of how I want that to go out. I know the video, if it's going to be a video. I know the feeling, if it's going to be a feeling, right? Well, not if it is a feeling, because it's my feeling. And so when I step behind the mic, I feel exactly that. I feel, if it's hurt, I feel the hurt. If it's love, I feel the love. If it's a family moment, I feel the family moment, because I already see it in my mind. And so that's the reason why I asked that question, because I use the same emotion when I go on stage. If I feel it that way, that's the way I'm going to present it. Regardless of what it is, I take on that whole character. And so I feel like even in music, we have a story to tell. You have a story to tell. You've told stories. I've got my ass, into some stuff listening to your music. So it's all about an emotion. And so that's why I asked that question. So if that makes any difference in how you answer that, that's what I want to give you.
No.
No? Okay. I love it. No, that's fine. I love it. So let's go on into your solo career. You've released acclaimed solo projects, including Black Pavarotti. And Pavarotti, yes, thank you, sorry. And something like The Greatest. How did those albums allow fans to see different sides of you, Dave Tolliver?
In my solo stuff, I'm a little harder edged as far as like my subject matter. It's been more about, cheating and messing around and, stuff like that, things I like to do.
Listen, we all got our story. We all got a past. It's okay.
And I write just about love, life, and relationships. That's all I really know. And that's all I really want to write about. And what's the word for cheating? What's the word?
Infidelity.
Yeah, the infidelity is part of the relationship. It's a part you don't want, but unfortunately for some people, it's part of the relationship for a long time, and you just don't know. You have an inkling, but you don't really know. So
But why? But why is it a part of a relationship?
Because it is a part of the relationship. I'm saying because they're doing it in real time while they're still with the other person. They are. That's part of the relationship. They don't know, but so they're two-timing. You know what I mean?
But you made it seem like it's a natural thing. Like, okay, you in a relationship, so you gonna be two-timed on. You gonna get cheated on. Like, that's not a normal.
I hear women say, all men ain't no good. And then I hear, I hear people say black men don't cheat. But I think what women don't realize is that they call us this and look at us a certain way, but they're the trainers. They're the trainers. Because for everyone that doesn't do whatever it is that you want because you have this situation or that other, there's about 10 more that will.
Okay. See, you almost lost me, but I agree with that, because I've been saying that for a long time.
You agree with everything I say, and if you don't, I'll be in Vegas.
Oh, wow. Let me tell you something. So let's clear this up just a little bit for my viewers out there, the females out there. I've always said, for whatever you don't do in a relationship, somebody else will. However, I still feel like there's a level of communication that needs to be had before it gets to that level, because everybody knows what they like.
Communication is everything in every situation in life. It could save a life, it could save a job, it could save a corporation, it could save a marriage, it could save a sexual, it could save a closed mouth don't get fed. And you can take that and it ain't just for sex and different stuff like that. A closed mouth don't get fed. You
You're
know what I
right.
mean? If you don't state or talk about what ails you, what irritates you, what turns you off, if you don't tell your partner that, then but you never change or whatever they never change, then what you think's gonna happen?
So your song Home found placement in television productions. What did it feel like hearing your music become part of someone's story through film and television?
It was dope, man. I was excited, man, because that's a B plan I want to get into is just sync licensing, and I got 80 million songs sitting up here on this hard drive that I want to submit, and I know that a lot of commercials and different things that come with older sounding stuff, the TV people are not big proponents of AI, and I don't use AI or auto tune. Like when I send the mix over to the engineer to mix it, like I'll be like, it's dry vocals, bro. He said, I already know. And they have like a template set up. So, but everybody's always been using all these different, I just never knew they were using it. And sometimes it's just the difference in using the technology on your voices, just making it sound competitive with everything else. That's it. That it makes it sound competitive to everything else that's on the radio when the vibrations hit the consumer's ear.
And the vibrations are fine. The consumer's ear now is
Shitty.
okay. Yeah, I get it. That's what I like to hear. I like to hear the decades. I love real instrumentation because it's something about it that just touches the soul, and it just makes everything great. Yes, you can get on your computer and you can go in and say, I want hi-hat, I want this, I want synth bass, I want this, I want that. But guess what? It's all synthetic. It doesn't have anything real, so it just does that. But anyway, that's that is my soapbox that I stand on, and that's where I'm at right now. But
Don't fall off.
I'm not gonna fall off of it. I'm not gonna fall off it, and because I'm not gonna fall off it, we're gonna get into something different. Because right now, many artists are slowing down. Right? We get to where we are, and we say, okay, well, I got what I got out there. But right now, you're preparing to release a hip hop project.
You damn right I am.
What inspired you to come up with Let Me Talk My Shit?
Man, because I want to talk my shit, man. What's crazy is when we dropped our first Minute Large album, if you listen to that album, just about every song on there had rap on it. Man, that's all we used to do. Like I started off in radio doing hip hop shows and mix shows and stuff like that. And that's all I listened to was hip hop all day and night. We on tour. I'm listening to Nas, Mobb Deep, Heavy D. I mean, that's, I'm only listening to hip hop. The only thing I think we really went crazy over was Joe's first album. I know my crew, Joe's first album and that Tony album.
What are people going to learn about Dave Tolliver through this new project?
The reason why I did it is because, I love hip hop. I do. I love lyrics. Like I don't love the mush mouth stuff or the heavy ladle, chant with the auto tune. Although I do like Lil Durk, Lil Baby. I love Future, but I love the Migos. But my daughter constantly forces me to listen to stuff all the time when we're driving somewhere, taking her back and forth to school. I listen to her whole playlist. But people will learn from me that I'm dope. It's I haven't heard anything bad yet about it, except for my daughter. She like, you know what I'm saying? Like, okay. I
That's
heard
your
one guy
child.
say, man, yeah, my boy was like, man, you approach everything like you a singer. I said, I am a singer. And I'm not sitting up here rapping about guns and all these women I got and how high I get and all that other stuff. I'm rapping about the first single, Too Much Pain, is about mental health. If you don't know, you gotta listen to it. It's about mental pain. Like everything I write about is my true feelings or my true life stories. And so I have songs. I just wrote a song the other day that I was supposed to release this other record called Never Fall in Love Again, but I have a rap version. I didn't use So Alone, but it's called I'm Here But You Ain't. I'm Here But You Ain't. And I don't know, I just caught a vibe the other day and wrote that and put that down. Shout out my man West Now, the producer for like mostly all of the records on here. I got so many records. But you're gonna learn that I'm a fly individual. That I can spit for real. I tell people I'm not a barsmith, but I'm better than average. But I'm a singing motherfucker, so that make me a savage. You know what I'm saying? When you put what I got with the hip hop and how dope I am singing, and you put it together, man. And I'm gonna do two versions to every record I got. I'm gonna put some ad libs on all of them, and then just a regular dry.
One of the most inspiring parts of your story is your health. I am a huge health advocate. Anybody who knows me now, I've been vegan for a little bit, all about my journey. So your journey and your transformation and what you decided to do, I think you lost over 160 pounds.
Yeah.
Am I right? Okay. So what was that turning point that just made you feel like I have to do this? There's nothing else.
Well, for years, I took the scale at the heaviest at about 525 pounds. And I never had health issues. The only issues I had were we from Cleveland, so it was black ice out on the porch. And we had been in there playing Get Scrabble and eating and clowning. I had my sister and my nieces with me. I walk outside the door. We had the three-step porches. I don't know if you're from the Midwest, but three-step porches. And I did the Fred Flintstone. Boom. And so what I didn't know, I had fractured my hip, but it was so much inflammation they couldn't see what it was. And from that, it just started to be, but I never had any diabetes, high blood, high cholesterol, none of that. Everything, I never was even in the danger zone, and my doctors couldn't figure out why. And I'm like, why are you trying to figure out why? Shit, the thing we should be talking about is that I'm not there. Then I lost a bunch of weight and gained half of it back. So we were on the road. Jason, my original partner, and I, we got back together in 21 and started touring. But we did an album in 22. And one day we got off the plane, and this is, I was on a diet then. I was doing the keto, and I was losing. We get home from the West Coast, and sometimes I would get a little congested or whatever, but I would come home and because my son had it, my daughters had, they got asthma, whatever. Not really, my son had it bad, my daughter didn't. And I would just take the little pump or whatever, and I'd be straight because I used to smoke cigars, and I would drink hella tequila, or first it was vodka, then it was hella tequila while we was on the road. Then I would get home and you'd be sweating walking through the airport. You get on the plane with that dry air with all them germs, and I would get like these upper respiratory infections or whatever, you know what I mean? But so this time I got home and I was like, yo, this don't feel right. You know what I mean? And I'm walking to the car, and I told my wife, I said, I got home and I was like, I feel like I'm about to pass out. And then on this day, she had me walking further than ever to get to the car because she came down the middle instead of over by the doors. And I'm like, yo, I feel like I'm about to pass out. So I put my stuff in the car, got in, I took the pump when I got home, and for a couple days, nothing really happened. It just stayed that way. So me, black men go to the doctor. I always go to the doctor. I've been getting prostate exams since I was 29. I'm not playing. I've seen too much to roll the dice on mine. So, except for being fat. And
But listen, I'm so glad that you said that, because so many of us from our community don't feel like we need to go to the doctor. We feel like everything is okay, and this is why we check out early. This is why we have issues that we can't catch early on.
I mean,
yeah,
and I
agree.
therapy too. I also go to therapy too. I don't fucking play around because I would do depression and anxiety. I've controlled the depression, but the anxiety still fucks with me a little bit. But I'm cool. You know what I'm saying? It's managed. You know what I mean? So when I got home, the next day I make relationships with anybody that have control of my balls. You dig what I'm saying? If they got you
Right.
locked like this, it's like your creditors, your bill people, all that. If they got your guebo, so you better be in good relations with them. So my doctors, I was like, man, hey, he was like, come in and see me, and I will see what is going on. So he gave me there. I went to the ENT. I went to the pulmonologist. I went to the sleep doctor, and they told me that I had asthma because of allergies. And I was like, that's bullshit. I said, I've never, and I went somewhere and performed, and I was so out of breath. I was like, nah. I said, there's one more I got to go to. That's the heart doctor. Man, that bastard came out the back and told me that that one part of my heart was only pumping at like 38%. I was like, you shit. I said, you shitting me? And he was like, no, for real. And I just bust out crying. And from there, I was like, F this. This is not going to be the end of Dave Tolliver. So I started changing. I started, eating different. And then, I'll be honest with you, I haven't told a lot of people, but I started, I took the Manjaro, and we caught it in the first wave. And man, shit. That shit knocked me off my feet. And in the meantime, over a couple years, I'm going back and forth to the doctor. They doing all these tests on me, stress tests, a chest MRI, anything, a sarcoidosis test. They did the genetics test. They did the one thing to see if I was gonna have a heart attack. Everything came back negative. They was like, we don't understand why. And uh, after I got down to a certain amount, and they took the very last echocardiogram I had, he was like, your heart's back to normal. I just it was like, he was like, man, he said, we cannot figure out why it did that. He
Right.
said the
And that's a
best thing you could
blessing.
have done for yourself. Man, listen, I get watery, teary eyed about it all the time. He said the best thing you could have done for yourself was lose that weight. He was like, man, 525. I was like, yeah, man. But I never had any problems. Like being 400, we was hooping. We hooped almost every day. We was on the road. We hooped like R. Kelly. We found somewhere to go play basketball. That's
Right.
all we did. You know what I'm saying? But I think I don't think it was the how much we ate during the day, but it was our habits of eating at night and what we were eating and then going to bed on it.
Right.
And
Right.
because we were like when we were in the studio, it's late nights, all day late nights, and then you eating like the second album we was in Philly. Man, we in the studio all night. We smoking weed, we eating Philly cheesesteaks, them damn what's them damn juices, them kiwi mango. I forgot what they was called, but everybody's drinking
The
them
s-
at one
the
time.
Snapples.
Man, we was getting fatted. No, not
What?
Snap, it was another one. I forgot. I forgot what it was called, but it was a popular drink at the time. But that's what we did. But when we
Hmm.
started at Gerald and them studio, they wouldn't feed us until we finished rehearsing and got it right. So,
Right. And then it's late. And then it's late. And so
and
I'm
but then
glad
and
that
then
you.
too,
No, go ahead. Go
go
ahead.
ahead. But my habits were even worse working at the radio station because while I was in high school, I was working overnights, 1 to 6:30. Then I went to school at 8:30. I would get an hour and a half nap, and then go to school around the corner from the radio station. And at night, because my brother, he went to school around the corner too from where I was. It was Lay's, Pepsi, and Little Debbie's with cream, and that's what I ate
Right.
all night. I would
Because,
eat on that shit all night.
oh gosh, you
Yeah.
used a G, because I couldn't do that during high school. I did that in my 20s, but in my
But
in
the
my
thing about
teen
high
years.
school, I was so active in high school, it didn't start to bother me or make me gain the weight until I started doing men at large because shit, everybody doing everything for you. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
People want to be around, so they carrying your bags, they wiping you down, they they doing everything for you. They carrying your bags, they doing everything. And so you don't have to participate in all the other stuff no more. You making so much money, you just sit back and you just roll.
Out of your life lessons, you did the movement of with childhood obesity, teen mental health, and that means so much to me because my daughter, she suffered from severe anxiety for a very long time. She's now thriving. She's in college. She's 19 years old. We're good. But from like
I
12
mean, she's my
until 17, we had severe anxiety issues.
mm. Yeah, I didn't really catch the anxiety till after the pandemic, and I wish I would have
Hmm.
never taken the shot, because
Mm.
I feel like whatever was going to happen to you 10 or 20 years down the road, I feel like it was some type of advanced thing, where it made it come out faster. You see so many people who didn't even have health issues that took that damn thing, and they just, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like
Mm.
that heart condition might have came because faster than it would have normally came, but maybe it did come at the right time, and I fixed it, and so I'm normal, because when he
Right.
told me what my percentage was, I was like, man, I want to go 20 or 30 higher than that. He was like, he said, nobody's 20 or 30 higher than that. You're right where you're supposed to be, where everybody is. I just started crying. I was like, yo, I'm never getting back to 300 pounds. I go between 265 and 275. I stay there. I've been there for the last year and a half. I'm not going back. I
And
refuse to go
sometimes,
back.
right. And sometimes I think things have to happen, whether it was with COVID or whatever. But sometimes if there's a purpose for your life, you have to experience something to show you where you should be. And I
Yeah.
applaud you for taking that and saying, this is where I'm going to stay and I'm not going back to where I was. And that's such an amazing thing. And I love that you even carry that over into your mentorship or into your what you're trying to show others, children, especially children, because our kids sit up now. We come from a generation where we went outside. We did
Non-stop.
things. We went outside. There
Non-stop.
was nothing. We got angry if we were told to come in the house because we wanted to hang
Oh my
outside.
God.
Our kids now, they sit in front of their devices. They're on video games. They're this and that. So I get that. And I understand that. So we need to take a quick break, but I'll be right back with my guest, Dave Tolliver, in just a moment.
Nice.
We're going to pause this incredible conversation for just a moment because this is the part of the show that makes us smoke and ice. Tonight's featured bourbon is Whistle Pig Piggyback 100 proof bourbon whiskey, aged 6 years and crafted with the same attention to detail that has made Whistle Pig one of the most respected names in premium whiskey. Piggleback delivers a bold yet approachable experience. On the nose, you'll find rich caramel, vanilla bean, toasted oak, and warm baking spices. The palate opens up to brown sugar and honey sweetness before introducing notes of cinnamon, nutmeg, and charred oak. At 100 proof, it has enough strength to command attention while remaining remarkably smooth and balanced. The finish lingers with sweet spice, oak, and subtle pepper, making it a bourbon that rewards slow sipping and great conversation. So let's go ahead and pour. That's enough. And for all of you that are with me, cheers and drink responsibly. So I don't find it as smooth as it says it is. But it is good. It is something that I may go back to on a regular basis. Well, let's get into our cigar for tonight. We're going to bring in the smoke. Tonight's featured cigar is the Buenas Noches Robusto from Deadwood Tobacco Company by Drew Estates. This cigar is known for its rich Maduro profile and unmistakable sweetness. Now, if anyone knows me and if you watch, I love a Maduro. It's so smooth. It's not too bold. It's just perfect. It's like the Three Little Pigs, the just right. But right away, you'll notice notes of dark chocolate, espresso, black cherry, and sweet earth. The smoke is creamy and flavorful with a dessert like, wow. Yeah, let me get it right. It has a dessert-like quality that makes it both approachable and memorable. It's a cigar that doesn't whisper. It introduces itself immediately. So let's see how these two combine, but I'm going to light it up first. I get the earth. I get the subtle sweetness. This almost comes off as a infused because it is a sweetness. It's a push sweetness. It's not a natural sweetness from any tobacco or anything else that's in it. But I like it. I like it. So we're going to go ahead and get into the flavor science behind this pairing because it actually works regardless of what you think. It combines contrast and complement at the same time. The bourbon cinnamon, oak, and baking spice create structure and energy. The cigar responds with sweetness, chocolate, espresso, and dark fruit. The spice from the whistle pig cuts through the richness and sweetness of the cigar, preventing either from becoming overwhelming. So they definitely balance each other off. One does not overcompensate for the other. They just kind of complement each other. So I like that. And meanwhile, the cigar's chocolate and espresso notes pull forward the bourbon's caramel and vanilla characteristics. What a pair. So while they approach your palate from different directions, they ultimately meet in the middle. One brings spice, one brings sweetness. Together, they create a level of experience that rich, balanced, and unforgettable. And that's exactly what we do here on Smoking Ice. Now let's get back into this conversation. Hi, I'm Kelly Allen. Join me each weekday from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. for Midday Energy Rush on Positive365.net. I'll bring you all your favorite music from every genre and every decade, plus comedy and positive thoughts all in one place. Go to Positive365.net and you won't be disappointed. That's Positive365.net. We're positively different.
Positively different. Positive 365.
We're back on Smoking Ice. I'm Kelly Allen, and my guest today is Dave Tolliver, and we'll continue this amazing conversation. You've been successful in music, radio, acting, business. What do you hope your legacy ultimately becomes?
Whew. I hope that, and that's one thing that I have been, making sure that I work on, like singing so alone. I probably sung the song at probably 1,000 funerals, and I've heard some interesting things that people have said, from people talking about, yeah, y'all know he wasn't the greatest father, but we loved him anyway, to, Mom, when you had me and you had me kidnapped by that man when you was high on drugs, like, I don't want anything like that to denigrate, desecrate, whatever the word is, my legacy. I want to be, yeah, people are going to say that Dave Tolliver was tough, that he was arrogant, that but they're also going to say that he didn't take no ish, and that he cared about everybody. He always helped everybody and would help anybody. You know what I mean? It's like, in life, I just don't understand sometimes why we have to go through the negative things, especially when the things that you do more than 85% of the time are positive and giving to others. You know what I mean? But I tell people, no matter how devoutly you are to your religion or your spirituality, or how demonic you are to hurting others and different stuff like that, it seems like, and I know for a fact, there's no difference of how we go through life. You're going to have great days, good days, bad days, and horrible days. There is no difference. I think you just have to pick a side. When you start crossing that energy, then it gets really, that sounds crazy, but I want people to remember Dave as somebody that really gave a damn about his people, about the people around. And I don't meet a stranger, and I try to, like, I guess, I have something called like the spirit of discernment. Like, I could see when I meet somebody, like, yo, call me, I need to talk to you. I won't even know him, and I'll be like, call me, and they'll call me, and I'll be like, yo, da da da, and they be like, how you know that? I just said, man, it's just a gift, and no, I don't know, man. I just want them to say that, damn, he was dope.
Right.
He was a good nigga. He was a good nigga, a great nigga. You know what I'm saying? Since we say it for free, he was a good nigga, he was a great nigga. That was my nigga. You know what I'm saying? That real shit. Like, that's what I want them to say. And hopefully they think that. But what I do know is that there are people in this life that either love Dave Tolliver or they don't F with him. And if they don't F with him, it's because they don't know me and they've just heard things, or I've cussed their ass out because I don't play the phony game. I don't do the phony. I don't do BS. I don't play like that. You know what I mean?
Right.
So You know, 'cause when people meet me, man, I thought you was this, then the third, man, you cool, yeah. I'm like, man, sit your ass down and pass me the bottle. You know what I'm saying? Like, just get out of here with that.
All right, so we're going to do one more thing before I get you out of here because I know you got a lot of stuff to do. All right, so this is the Smoking Ice lightning round. First thing that comes to mind, no thought process, just your answer. Gerald Levert or Eddie Levert?
Brother, and musical father.
All right, radio or recording in studio?
Oh, you said no thinking. Sorry, both. It's a tie. I gotta take a shot.
Never. Next time, that's what we're gonna do. Acting or singing?
Singing.
All right. Favorite city to perform in?
Chicago.
Okay. One song that never gets old?
Let's talk about it.
Biggest lesson you've ever learned?
Strap it up.
All right. One word that describes men at large?
Fat.
I was thinking you were gonna say not done yet. We got more to come.
You said
Okay,
one
I
word.
got you.
And I want to
you
change.
did.
And I want to change the song that's unforgettable is "Baby I'm Ready." I never can, you know what I'm saying. But go ahead.
Okay. No, anyway, I'll take that too. One artist you'd still love to collaborate with?
Joe.
What's something fans don't know about Dave Tolliver?
Oh God. I'd have to think about that.
It's okay. Take a minute.
It's one thing that they don't know about Dave Tolliver is that. Damn.
Did I catch you off guard?
No, it's just it's so much stuff that they do know. Well, that a lot of people don't know that I struggle with depression and anxiety. A lot of people don't know that.
All right, and that's a good thing to expose. I will take a moment because mental health in our community is so underserved. We don't focus on it, and so we need to do that. So I got one more thing: legacy or success?
I guess in the long run, it would be legacy because just legacy. We can't give an explanation. Legacy.
Well, Dave, thank you for spending time with us tonight. Your journey is a reminder that success isn't about staying the same. It's about growing, evolving, and continuing to move forward no matter what life takes you through. To everyone watching and listening, thank you for joining us for another episode of Smoking Ice. Make sure to like, subscribe, and share because without you, I can't be here, and I love being here with you. Until next time, I'm Kelly Allen.
I'm Dave Tolliver.
Let's spark something real.
Smoke and ice, twice as nice. I'm your vice. Smoke and ice.
We hope you've enjoyed Smoke and Ice with Kelly Allen. Make sure you share, like, and subscribe. Tell a friend so they too can be informed and entertained. For more information about the show, go to smokeandice.net.